don't care a lot. I'll eat one. It's not my.
You don't walk across the street to get one.
I wouldn't walk for it.
It's just, is it work or, I hope it's working, is outreach to the community.
Oh,
Good.
now, a year ago, when we were so low, the bounce houses might not.
Will you have something to say about pickleball? Okay.
And then they brought
Depending
kids,
on what else
our
is
kids
said, how's that?
department started the kids.
Okay.
But it's,
I don't want to say it mean, but.
It is an exclusive board condition. It's a
and you
changing,
gotta,
what they're proposing, I think, is a changing of tennis court into pickleball courts. So a
I
tennis
can
court,
pass
and
it to music. I'll just take
I
it.
think it goes to boards when we do that.
Oh,
Well, so
I would say the majority of people, I just,
so
what's the old saying, that music soothes the savage beast. It brings up the beast in me.
music will lift the spirit. And you gotta have some good preaching too.
Yeah.
But you know what? If a preacher is a good pastor, they don't have to be a real good preacher.
and I see Jenny.
I-
See what is it?
My own self, a good pastor. I'll
Yeah,
take a good
yeah, that's
pastor.
what
and a
I
bad
said all
preacher.
along. I have no
I
problem
mean-
with that, refurbishing,
Well, yeah, I can-
refurbishing the tennis court and
I can
putting that, yeah.
mostly say
Cause
yes
see,
to that.
yeah,
So you would have.
I don't want.
Hey, Carolyn, are we live yet?
I can't give
see
you.
what
Are we live yet?
down in.
All right, thank you.
They,
I realize that.
they have a tennis court,
But we,
so they couldn't get rid of
I
the
will say
tennis
this,
court.
last three
But
Sundays,
they also
he
have
had really started,
an elderly.
I think he had to learn to preach
Right
to his
over,
congregation.
and they.
I mean, I think there is some to that you,
Yeah, it is. It's
So,
totally.
congregation.
Every congregation has their own DNA.
yeah.
And
But the
I
level
would say,
roll down.
he had.
2-minute warning.
It
Two.
seemed like he started to
6,000
come in. I don't think we ever get a great speaker.
Well,
Yeah. I was talking to the moderator, he's a good friend of mine, and he said that,
I've got to take better notes this week. I went
about what?
this month. I've got to take
he
better
could not
notes.
accept, or basically,
When I
like,
went to look back at my notes.
he couldn't accept his congregation,
I don't know what I was talking about.
couldn't accept his preaching. I mean,
it just didn't work out.
it just didn't work. I mean, he fired him. He didn't badmouth the preacher. He said, it just, it
It's
was
not a good
No, I
fit.
lost my
Wouldn't
notes.
it?
Hopefully this one.
But that's human nature.
Now give me a warning if you're gonna.
Hang me out.
A couple of times you made me jerk.
I'll hit it to start the meeting.
No, that's okay. Yeah. Oh, boy. Had to put on my sweater tonight.
Okay, it flipped over 6:30.
Do it again.
Okay, it's 6:30, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the new and audio improved version of the Westport Town Council meeting. If anybody online wants to give Carolyn a thumbs up that they can hear us okay, we have our own speaker now, not my little party boombox speaker. This is the town's now, nice one back there. Hopefully you can hear us okay. So let's start with a pledge to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
think you should have had prayer.
And it does help when you've got a tech guy that actually knows what he's doing. Bailey, raise your hand, wave, everybody. Everybody thank Bailey on the way out. He is being paid though, so it's not pro bono. All right. Have my fellow council members had a chance to review the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, could I get a motion to approve the minutes as presented? Russell gave me a first. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Got a second from Jenny. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. No cemetery deeds, Gloria? Okay. Oh. Okay, next is the adjustments, payroll vouchers, and monthly bills. Those were sent to us by email. All my board members have a chance to take a look at those.
Yes.
So I'll entertain a motion that we approve these as presented.
So moved.
Okay, can I get a second? Second. Dolores, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. There's three of them here.
This.
Rachel, you're going to be up next. So the next item on the agenda is an update from Commonwealth on the wastewater project. We opened bids a couple of Tuesdays ago, 2 or 3 Tuesdays ago. They tallied the bids. Glenn and I met with Commonwealth and USDA, Jody Comer from SARPC. That was last Tuesday, and got it all together. So, the signature.
Yeah, you skipped me.
I did.
No, you didn't. Yeah, just like my wife.
Okay. Go ahead, Rachel.
Okay. I passed out some packets to everybody. Also, I emailed you, Brian. I don't know if you want to put the map up there or
Oh, yes, I should.
not necessary, but
Yeah.
visual.
You keep talking. I'll see if I can find it. You sent that to me a while back. Did you not? It wasn't today, was it?
No, it was last week,
That's what I thought.
Thursday, maybe.
Did I?
If not, you guys all have a copy of it in the packet I handed out. Yes, we opened bids on May 21st.
There we go.
We received 5 bids for the project. The low bidder is Striegel Design and Construction. I have attached in the packet to you guys as well as Gloria's got the original bid in a pile over there. our engineer's recommendation letter as well as a certified bid tab. That's just for your review. The next steps in that, as Brian mentioned, we met and went through the budget. So USDA has what they call a Guide 5 budget sheet. It is the green and yellow, this one that I attached. Basically, it just says where the project funding is coming from and what is being covered by that funding. So we met to review that. We're still finalizing a couple of numbers on it, but the total at the bottom should not change. That amount is set because we already have our letter of conditions from the grant as well as the loan. So the next steps in this, I put together a map to show where the project is going to be. So it is work at the existing lift station, building a new lift station right next to it, as well as rehabilitating the existing one, and a new force main from the lift station all the way to the plant. There's also work at the plant, a little bit farther down, but I wanted to put that map together so you guys could see where the project's going to be taking place, what kind of impact there's going to be to roads. And I'll update that through construction to kind of show where work's going to be in case anyone lives out there and wants to make sure the road's not going to be closed and whatnot. So we'll keep this map updated through construction. Hopefully it helps put some visual to it. The next steps are looking for closing with USDA. To do that, we need the town's approval of the bids received, just meaning you accept the apparent low responsive bidder pending both USDA and legal review. And then we'll hand it all over to Alex and have him take a look at everything. I also need the board's approval to submit the budget to USDA on the Guide 5 form. I will need Brian to sign it eventually, but until I finalize those couple of numbers from the rate consultant, we can either sign it and then if I modify it, we'll sign a revised version, or we can just wait until we have those final numbers to sign it. So either of those. I went ahead and included a schedule. It looks like we will most likely be closing and starting construction or authorizing construction here pretty soon, July. The latest I would anticipate is August. So I put kind of a worst case scenario on there. If we assume 90 days or so for them to order equipment and supplies, that would mean construction starting before November. They could be on site digging. That's kind of all I have.
Any questions from the board for Rachel? She went through all this with us on last Tuesday. We got a letter here on town letterhead to Charlene Bridgewater from USDA. And as soon as they get done reading it, I'd like to entertain a motion that I could sign this and give them the go-ahead. It's to Charlene Bridgewater, USDA, Town of Westport. Dear Charlene, we reviewed the bids and are satisfied with the apparent low responsible bidder, Striegel Design and Construction, Inc. In keeping with the recommendation of our engineer, we hereby accept the bid from Striegel Design and Construction, Inc., pending review and approval of the USDA Rural Development Funding Agency. Sincerely, Town of Westport. Brian Gatewood, Council President. So this is the next step to go ahead and kick it off. So can I have a motion that I sign this?
I will make a motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
You were there. Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Hand that down to Gloria, please. Okay. SIRPC Labor Standards Contract. This is a formality because of, and keep me honest, I'll try to explain it as best I can. Because we are using government money for this sewer project, we have to have somebody that monitors the labor rates that the folks are making. And Southern Indiana Regional Planning Commission, SIRPC, they've done that before for us. and we're recommending that they do it again. We talked about this on last Tuesday when Jody was there. The price started out at $12,500. This is to keep all the records properly, to make sure that everything is in place if we get audited. She said they would do it for less, and she even gave another amount. And I said, okay, let's negotiate. Will you do it for $10,000? And she said, yes, we will. So we've got the contract here to have SIRPC do our be our labor standards contract representative for the project. And I just need a motion that I can go ahead and sign that and get them engaged as our labor standards.
A motion?
Okay, got a motion from Dolores, second from Russell. All those, do you have any discussion on that?
Nope. I'll wait.
Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Hand that down here.
I just want to add that USDA is going to go through everything again, all of our contracts with legal, rate consultant, everybody, and they're probably all going to have things signed again and resubmitted. So
Okay.
probably at the next meeting, you'll get a slew of contracts to be updated because USDA is going through and checking all the boxes one last time. So this is probably just the first of a couple.
Okay.
Just a heads up. Alex will probably see a bunch of them coming.
Gloria needs to sign that too. Okay. Community building report.
We got a bid to do the ceilings, but it seems like it's a little high. So we're gonna maybe try and get another bid.
What to come in at?
59,
59,000.
59,
5,900.
5,900. The last one was right around 3,000. The other guy that bailed on us.
Just the kitchen and the ceiling in the kitchen.
And then in the hallway,
Okay.
the hallway and the kitchen. Yeah, it's got crown molding because it's starting to kind of pull away. It's crumbling a little bit, so they're gonna put that up.
Okay.
So we're gonna try and wait on, Damon's gonna call somebody else, and see if we can, we're just having trouble showing up. He did contact somebody else and they said too small of a job, pretty much, so they didn't want it. So we're having some issues with that. And I did get a call today that we are on our second step of getting the grant that we applied for through the Community Foundation to finish up the appliances in the kitchen.
Oh, excellent.
So yeah, I'm supposed to meet with her Wednesday and she's gonna check out everything.
Okay.
Other than that,
Any questions for Connie? Thank you.
thank you.
Welcome home.
Thanks.
Not re-drywall, the hallway and the entry was just crown molding.
Okay, the ARP funds, we've got ordinance 2024-2. This is to redo the floor here, use some of the ARP money to do that. This will be a second reading on this ordinance. Whereas it's been determined now, it is now necessary to appropriate more money than was originally apportioned in the annual budget. Therefore, be it ordained by the town council, town of Westport, that for the expenses of the taxing unit, the following sums of money hereby appropriated out of the funds named and for the purposes specified, subject to the laws governing the same. And it is 2401 American Rescue Plan, $30,000 out of the ARP fund. So that will finish the floor in here with the nice, what they've done up there. Any discussion? Any questions? Okay. Do we put this up for a vote now, Alex?
Yes, the second reading.
I work with an Alec out at the youth camp. Sorry. Okay. I'll entertain a motion that we approve this on second reading. I'll make the motion. I'll entertain a second.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye, please. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we can sign it on second reading. Okay. Pickleball courts. We talked a little bit about it last time. Mike Gasper has, on behalf of the Kiwanis, has applied for $15,000 from the Community Foundation towards this. And Jenny, I don't want to steal your thunder. She put out something on Facebook, a kind of a poll requesting feedback. And I'll turn the floor over to you to tell us what you found out.
So it's a yes from all of the responses that I got, that everybody does want a pickleball court. I only had 2 people that were absolute no way. And then all of the people that I have heard back from that said yes, half of those people are just concerned about 3 pickleball courts and doing away with the tennis court. So I'm not sure where we're at. I thought we were going to get more information on the plan and stuff tonight.
It is, to my understanding, the plan as presented, and Mike, I think, will be able to speak to it. Mike Gasper should be able to speak to it possibly next month.
It's 2 pickleball courts, and
But
that
it does do away with the tennis court, though, I think, in the original plan.
okay. Does it address the fencing or anything else?
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And have we looked at doing a combination pickleball and tennis court? What do you mean? Okay, so the grant is specifically for pickleball courts, no, like if you do a duo with tennis courts, then the grant is no longer in effect.
I think where she's headed is, tell
Right.
her about the information you found.
So I was researching, and at other places, they have combination pickleball and tennis court. So the tennis court needs resurfaced anyway. The tennis court is in pretty bad shape out there. I don't know if anybody's looked at it, but it needs resurfaced. No matter what goes in there, something's going to have to be done with it. But have we looked at doing adjustable net? So they make the nets that adjust, because there's a 2-inch difference between a tennis net and a pickleball net. 4-inch
46, 42.
on the ends, and then they sag in the
Okay,
middle.
Okay,
So it could be resurfaced, and then the lines that are painted on the court are for tennis in one color, and then pickleball in a separate color. And then the net is the adjustable net, so that we would not get rid of tennis, but we would still have pickleball. Is that an option with? Okay.
Let me ask a question.
Mhm.
Since this is bridging on $50,000, don't we have to get 3 bids or 3 estimates? Is that right, Alex? It needs to be a bidding process for a project of this size?
Yeah, no, before executing the contract, so if we're just at the appropriation phase, but it probably is a good idea to get those bids so you understand how much you need to appropriate.
Okay,
So table this and be.
yeah, we're not to
we
a
need
point
more
to vote yet.
information, yeah,
Bidding is not the right term, it's quotes.
quotes. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so we'll hear about it more in July.
Perfect.
So, some more good news. Damon, do we have any other, could you come up? Sidewalks to the community building. We've got, I believe at last Tuesday, we had one quote. I don't know if we've got any more
Correct.
yet.
I got another one, and I was supposed to have another one today, and if you don't mind, I'll just give him one more chance to make
Okay.
sure it's not in my email.
But what this is, from the four-way stop up to the shelter house, sidewalks on both sides of Main Street is what this is for. 5 feet wide, I believe.
Correct, 5 feet wide. One company was $44,550, and the other company was $31,640. And on top of that, we do have to have 4 trees removed and a total of 6 stumps. And the cheapest bid I got for that was $1,850, and the other one was $2,000. Like I said, I apologize. The guy talked to him this morning. He was supposed to have
That's
me a third estimate today, but he didn't make it.
The good news is, we've got the money to do it. That can come out of ARP funds. And, it's not a hideous amount of money. It's not, 50 or 100,000. It looks like we got one right now for 31. So I see that as good news. That made me real happy.
It's cheaper than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So, once we get those in, we can start the process maybe next month, Alex, for another appropriation. If we want to move that faster, we could suspend the rules and pass that ordinance in one night on 2 readings. So we
I
can
would
move that
consider
along.
that being concrete and construction season.
Yep,
The longer we wait.
faster we engage them, the,
Right.
yeah.
But at least get it on the schedule.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. So nothing to vote on there yet, but we are making progress.
I'd like to bring up an idea on the ARC money. We have a number of fire hydrants that are not working. I would like to see us at least try to replace some of those fire hydrants. 2 reasons, basically 3 reasons, but 2 reasons primarily. We can use them to flush the water lines. And 2, if the fire department gets, I don't know if John can tell us, an audit or whatever that could affect the insurance to the property owners in Westport. But I'll also make it perfectly clear, the fire department has got us covered with their drop tanks, so we are not in a situation that it's a do or die on the fire hydrants. I just feel like it's something that we need to do, and that way the fire department also has a backup, and we're trying to make sure that if they have an audit or whatever on the fire department, that we are going to come out good in order to keep from getting our insurance raised.
Can we add that to the list, Gloria, for the next agenda? Fire hydrants, replacing some.
Is the water pressure an issue at all?
John, can you speak to I know they don't use the hydrants for fighting fires. Having hydrants that we know that do not work at all is probably not a good idea. We use them to flush the water system. I assume if they are functional, they could be used as a backup, but the pumpers today can pump quicker and could possibly draw a vacuum on the hydrants can't feed it fast enough. So they're kind of obsolete. I guess we could look at, is there an upsizing that you can do on hydrants? I'm thinking out loud here, which is dangerous.
If you had a system support being flowed with hydrants, yes, there is value to it. But when we do our ISO ratings, they want to what hydrants you use,
Yeah.
how often you use them,
Yeah,
and then they go flow test them.
yeah.
So we consequently have not used them for years. So at that point in time, we didn't have enough water to use them. I didn't want to build a road station up the beach.
Yeah.
The biggest line in town. But we don't because it's automatic drain.
But we can get with Jay, I think, and find out. I mean, yeah,
A couple other questions along that line. There's a fine line. If it's for fire safety, we can use ARP money. If it's for the utility, we've already switched everything over to the general. So I don't think we can go back. We don't have enough time to go back and apply it to water infrastructure. So that's just something to keep in mind. We really have to be able to prove that this is a public safety thing.
Yeah,
The other thing
I think
is-
that could pass the red face test. A non-working fire hydrant is no good to anybody, right? For any reason.
But a lot of them function, it's just a matter of flow and things like that. The other concern, losing my train of thought. With, I want to get back to it, I just lost it. But
Okay.
it was another, sorry.
So we can get with
Okay.
Jay and get a list.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's dozens of
Oh,
hydrants
it's
that don't
the-
work.
It's the rental thing. The State Board of Accounts audited us a few years ago.
Right.
Would we have to revert back to paying rental and starting that process all over if we now have functioning fire hydrants that we used to not have? If that is the case, would we also need to do back pay on that rental? Because we kind of got out of that because of the fact that the fire department does not use them.
I'm not interested in reopening that can of worms. So if it does, we got to find another way to do it. Okay.
Another, Brian and I were discussing, it looks like that we do not have a maintenance agreement on the water tower. And that is something we are going to, or in my opinion, we're going to have to look at in order to get
Yeah.
a maintenance agreement. You can't,
I don't know if that could come out of ARP money, but it's something, another thing you put on the list of things to do.
It's a utility.
Yeah, when I was on the board previously, the board entered into an agreement with O'Leary. I think they're up in Greenfield. It was, yeah, it was a 10-year maintenance contract for our water tower. It provided for the cleaning of the inside, painting, I think twice over 10 years, and any other things. And that expired, I think it was for 10 years. I was on the board. Was I on the board for 8 or 12?
2019 was
Anyway.
the last year.
Okay,
Yeah, I was gonna
2019.
say, it was the year I started as clerk, and they went ahead and maintenance it that year, and I think they continued the maintenance until we went into the water project. Then during the water project, we did all the updates.
We're probably paying all the
We
cart
did some
then,
stuff.
right now. We don't
So
have a
now
contract.
I don't know if Rachel knows, or if you remember what the plan was after the project, I don't know.
But that's something we're going to be looking into for the future here. Okay, 207 and 209 East Mulberry Town property. Gloria, is this your item?
Right.
Yes.
The people online would like to know if we can have another poll open to the public on the town page about the pickleball versus the opinion of people who are friends.
I don't mess with that, but Gloria says yes. So,
I just wanted to say.
all right.
As long as it remains positive.
Yeah.
That's would be the only thing that I would say, that as long as it remains as positive feedback, absolutely.
All right. What's the 207 and 209 East Mulberry?
This is the property next to the police department. You and Russell have brought it up in a conversation, said we need to put it on the agenda to discuss. And there are a variety of people in town that are interested in purchasing property. So I looked into it, and we bought that property in 2021 for $12,000. We spent $9,800 to demo it. And then we got 2 appraisals in 2022. It was close to $1,000 to sell the property, but we did not get any bids at that time when we set it up for bid. I researched how to sell property that's owned by the town. You have 2 options. You can publish at least 15 days prior that you're going to take a public sealed bid and open them at a meeting and take the highest bid, or you can hire a public auctioneer and hold an auction. Because the appraisals are older, I would recommend us getting 2 new appraisals. And then if you guys decide that you want to sell it, just let me know how you want to go about that. Whether you want me to publish something in the paper and then open bids at the next council meeting, or if you want us to hire a public auctioneer.
Okay. I don't have strong feelings either way.
I don't, Mike Gasper had thrown the ball at us that he might have a business, be interested in that property if it was for sale. We've never, have no follow-up on that. He was just questioning if the town would be willing to sell that for a business, and I said, in my opinion, we would be glad to do it for a business.
Let's ask Mike when he's here next month,
We cannot discriminate on a business versus a private owner, so we
Right.
must keep that in mind.
right?
There are a few ineligible options, but it's people that have not paid their taxes. So we would have to ensure that whoever buys the property is up on their taxes. But for the most part, we really can't discriminate who buys it as long as it's the highest bid. So you couldn't determine whether it was business or not. It is zoned residential because it was a living, a home.
Are you sure?
basically, That we tore down.
This is showing that it's zoned B1.
Really.
Yeah, but this GIS is not always 100% accurate.
I have to.
Now, Joe, behave. Behave.
It says R1 on here, on the beacon.
Okay,
So I don't know.
we'll have to see which one's right.
I just printed it Friday. So I don't know.
Hey, Joe, camping site.
Well, if we've got somebody that would be interested, then we need to,
I've had,
figure out
in
what
the
our options
past,
are.
I've had two people ask me, and then since rumor mill started that it might be up for sale, I've had two other people approach me recently that are different from those previous, so it might be a possibility that it would go, I don't know. We have the opportunity that if we would decide not to sell it, we can not sell it after taking bids. And you can also set a reserve if you would like to make sure you make a certain amount. We have $22,725 invested.
okay,
Yeah.
good to know. All right, I don't think we want to take any action on it right now. Okay. We need to schedule an executive session on pending litigation. We did get the structural engineer's report back on the property on Range Street. And we need to get together with all of our board members here and decide what we need to do next. So I've thrown out some Fridays here. Are Fridays still good for you, Jenny? Friday in the afternoon?
I will be out of town
Excuse
on
me.
the 21st.
So that would leave the 14th or the 28th. 14th might feel a little quick. That's this Friday. So you guys want to do the 28th?
Brian, I'll be out on family vacation.
Ouch.
So
Okay,
So 14th it is.
14.
this Friday then.
I'm free.
Can you be here Friday? 3 o'clock?
Well, we'll have to issue notice, but.
Yep.
48 hours prior. So we will not be able to put that in the newspaper, but I can, WTRA obviously knows, and I can call the newspaper and let them know, but we could also put it on our website for public
What time
notice.
will that, you guys doing your meeting? And it's executive
3 o'clock
3 p.m. here.
at the town hall. Thank you. Yes, Walter?
I'll do a second. Meeting open,
No,
everybody.
no, it's by invitation only.
Lori, I'll get that posted in a whole different one that way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's an invitation only. I might not have to do that.
Okay,
This
so
Friday.
this Friday, June 14th at 3 o'clock. Okay, Damon, Public Works Superintendent Report.
I think the only thing I had beside the trees and the sidewalks was, as a lot of you know, through social media, there's been a lot of accusations and stuff made at the property on Lincoln Street, 109 South Lincoln. They filed a complaint with IDEM, and to let you know, we got our results back from IDEM, and the town is in compliance. There is no sewer issues up there at all. It is just stormwater that they're having problems with. So we have been cleared of that through IDEM again, but we did have soil tests pulled just to double, triple, quadruple check to make sure we don't have a problem. Those results are not back yet. So what you're hearing about that property is false and lies, and just, it's not true. The town does not have a problem up there. And if anybody would like to read the report, you're more than welcome to. I believe it's public information in it. So I feel like the town's done their due diligence and their part on it to prove that we are not in the wrong.
IDEM visited this same property in 2022 and came to the same conclusion. I don't know why it's coming up again with the new board, but IDEM came down here again and still they did not find anything.
The only other thing I do want to address with that property was, I forgot to bring it, the white stuff that they were claiming was toilet paper, they was posting online, was not toilet paper. It was grass that they had piled up there that had white mold on it. So that was what they were calling toilet paper, but it was white mold. And if you want to see that, I have samples of that on my desk, just to prove to everybody it is not toilet paper. And yes, that's not for me to tell, but it didn't go so well for him. So I'll just leave it at that. That's all I have. You guys got anything for me? Anybody?
Nope. Okay, additional water adjustment at 1785 North High School Road. Lori, you got the details?
Yeah, this is something that does not fall under the ordinance. We do pool adjustments every year and we adjust off of sewer, but this person is a water only. And we have never gave them a pool adjustment because of that. But they called and asked for a special exclusion because they had a hole in their pool and they've had to fill the pool several times to figure out where the hole was and to solve the problem. So they were just asking if they could receive an adjustment this year, and it's on the water side. So after calculating the loss, we calculated that their credit would be $91.18 if this was approved.
And the hole has been plugged.
Yes.
I've got no problem with it.
I don't have a
Anything?
problem with it.
Okay, I'll make a motion. We approve this additional adjustment for 1785 North High School Road. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Cool. All right. Loris would like the floor.
First of all, thank you, Damon, for the sign on the fence and the dugout. Appreciate it. I was riding around in my little red scooter. I was not in anybody's yard. I was on the street. I did witness a young lady on top of the dugout and a young gentleman climbing to the top of the fence. I hope and prayed he wasn't going to try to go over and jump, but who knows. Anyway, I asked them to get down and get where they should be, which was over here with the picnic with his parents, but with their parents. But anyway, I went on down around, come back and called them on the trash compactors out here, persistent little devils. And so so got them back over there, called the insurance. They suggested that we post it just in case one of them fell off the dugout or somebody fell off the fence. And Damon was kind enough to order the signs for us, so it is now posted. Don't know if it'll do any good, but maybe it might. I don't know. But I appreciate it, Damon. I really do. Appreciate all that you do, what everybody does. I have a thank you note from Judy Brewer. She came to
One of the office
our
hours.
And filled out. I don't want to say it's a complaint form. It is a work ticket, maybe, like asking if the sidewalks in front of the four-way stop, the red brick where Marilyn Cooper used to live, if something could be done with those that sidewalk. You know, she's just asking. Damon happened to come in. She was so in awe of Damon that she filled out a form. See, he's not listening now, is he? Is he red-faced or anything? No? Okay. Anyway, she requested that maybe something could be done. If just maybe the sidewalk could be taken out and leveled off with gravel or something or other. So anyway, so Damon did, Brian and him got together, looked at a few options to put in something temporary so that people wouldn't fall and kill themselves or break a neck or leg or whatever. And she wrote a really nice note, and I'd like to read it. It says, to the Westport Town Board and employees, a heartfelt thank you for beginning the repair on the sidewalk at the four-way stop. This is a much-needed repair. Sincerely, Judy Lane Brewer. So, a shout out to our town people. Believe it or not, they do work.
Anything else?
That's good.
You trying to shut me up,
No,
Brian?
no?
Oh, now Brian. Thank you, Joe and Luke, for everything that you do. Appreciate it. We really do. Really do. Joe is not, I don't think he's believing me. But appreciate everything you do. Anyway, so that's, and something new.
Okay.
We took a complaint form, and instead of a complaint form, because not everything people ask for is considered a complaint, and put it into a work ticket form, kind of like, and you know, like we've got a couple of issues with some alleyways and some things going on now. And, you know, she told me I made it to the stop sign, forgot all about it, went home, forgot all about it. Okay. Now, you know, we've got these work ticket forms. We've got it. Brian has set it up that we're down there maybe only one day a week, but still it's better than before. Come in, fill it out, and we've got a paper trail of things that need to be done, and we've got the paper trail for it now. And it just makes sense to do it. Lots of things, I know maybe some people don't think that it's worth their time to do that, but I feel that it is, so.
The complaint form, a lot of people are kind of bashful about signing their name to a complaint, especially if it's about the neighbor's grass or some trash at their neighbor's property or something like that. So the work ticket, and I was going to use the complaint form for anything. Well, the work ticket is, I think people will be able to, more willing to sign their name to it. They're asking for something and, you know, it gets it in the queue and we can track where it goes from there. So it's not going to be a burdensome paper process, but it gives us some type of documentation that a request was made. So those will be available at the water office for pretty much whatever. And if you do still want a complaint form, you want to complain on one of the cops or something, it is still there. It is still available. So.
And I'm sorry, one more thing. If there is something going on that you see that you think should be reported to the police, and we don't have Joe or Luke or not on duty or something or other, the non-emergency number, really, they do respond to that. It may take them a little bit longer, but they do. I called about a burning trash at 11 o'clock at night. Now, I know that they call the fire department, and the fire department is here and responded, but I also know that the sheriff will come down. Granted, they come out of Greensburg, it might take a little while. But if you see somebody out here, and they're camping out in our shelter house, if you will call the non-emergency number and you say that, they will respond. And granted, if they've taken the time to set up out here and sleep, then believe me, they're not going to go anywhere real quick.
And that does create traceability when you do that as
Yeah.
well through the dispatch center.
So.
Can you guys see that number on the screen that I typed in? It's 812-222-4911. It goes straight into the dispatch, but it doesn't set off all the lights and sirens and everything. Okay. Yes, Glenn?
I'd like to give a thumbs up and a hand clap to our board chairman for initiating the office hours. I've sat there 2 or 3 times and it's really been educational. And if you're not at work and you're free or retired, I would encourage you to stop by and talk about something that's on your mind. I'm not making any accusations when I say this, but over the last 30 years, I've chaired many, many meetings. And I always lectured my board. I say lectured, I talked to them. The very first meeting of the year, that if you have something that you're kind of on your mind, feel free to talk like to me in that case, and not broadside me at a meeting. And we can sometimes resolve things before we ever meet here in this town. If people would just come in and utilize the 4 hours that he always himself and a board member is with him. And I see a lot of positive things happening in those office hours. So I want to give a shout out, so to speak, that if you have an opportunity to come, you're not at work, you can come. I would encourage you to do so, because that time is really set aside for the benefit of our town. I just wanted to say that, Brian.
Thank you. What I want to get to as well in those meetings is as the work ticket process and the complaint process, any that's came in from week to week, that comes directly into that meeting so we can see them and begin to disposition them as to where they need to go. So that's one of the intents, why I've counseled, 2 or 3 residents to fill out a complaint form. And I think I've had one take me up on it. Nobody else would. So, all right. That takes care of the agenda. Public comments? Sandy?
Just kind of going back on the office hours, which I think is an excellent idea. Did you give it any thought? Maybe one Tuesday a month or day a month or every other month, maybe doing something in the evening so people who do work.
We can think about that.
I mean, obviously, wouldn't want to do that every week.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Once a month, move one of them to an evening slot or something.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's more people in Westport that works during the day.
Yeah.
Than there is retired.
Right. Yeah.
So we need to take that into consideration.
Yeah. I think we could make that happen. Yes, sir.
A year and a half ago, on Bennett Street, the gentleman had to give it up. Well, when I got my deed, when I paid the place off, says I own all easement property joining my property. Now, who owns Bennett Street?
Got me at a loss. The town owns the street.
Well, I wouldn't give a deed to it. He said he didn't own it. Well, I couldn't find no title for it. I got the street. Well, when I got my deed to the place, it says I own all easement property joining my property.
And is that a problem? Is that a problem?
Well, I like to know if it's mine or whose it is. The town claiming it on the map. Well, is it joining my property?
You'll have to, this would be a perfect topic for a Tuesday 8 to noon office hours. So we could put the map on the big screen. We're going to be in there. Dolores and I will be in there tomorrow if you want to come visit us. We've got a TV down there similar to this, and I can throw it up there and we can look and see what you're talking about. Be happy to do that.
Yeah, I would never say.
Has your taxes went up because of it? Are you concerned about that? Have your taxes went up as a result of it?
Well, they short land, I had acres, now I got lots.
Oh. Okay, we'll have to see what you're talking about. I'm not familiar with it.
When I first bought the place, it had 4 bids to me. Now, 2 little lots. Why is that?
Okay, this is public comment. Yes?
The rest of the people come to mind, the people on my fingers.
Yep, yeah. Come on up, Walter. Please, please. That way everybody gets to hear.
Okay, on the property you guys was talking about, having your meeting on,
Yes?
has any other meeting been on with the other 2 or 3 properties in town?
Um,
Have they been discussed?
I talked to Mark Taylor about his property, and he has bids on taking it down, and he intends to get it done when he retires, and that is looking to be in the September timeframe. We have a gentleman's agreement right now, but I have spoken to him, and he's assured me that there are plans. We shook hands. So,
Okay, how about the house across the street from me?
that's the one that the fire.
Yes.
Had the fire. We haven't done anything on that. I guess that will be the next thing that we.
Because it's been
Go
sitting
after.
there.
Yep.
September would be a year, and
They've had plenty of time, that's for sure.
they haven't done anything,
Yeah.
other than haul more stuff in there.
Yeah.
The back's cleaned up.
I did see that. I went down the alley.
Okay.
Before I came here, I went down the alley.
Yeah,
so-
we've sent a couple more, 311 Main Street, one on Mulberry. We've sent some letters. Dolores sent several letters about tall grass. So we're out there working. I'm guessing between the grass letters and the trash letters that we sent, we probably did a half a dozen this month. Maybe
Okay.
more, I don't know. 6 feels like a right number.
But something has been said to Mark
Yes,
on all that,
yes.
okay? Because I still think it's wrong what you guys are doing to George, and you haven't done nothing to Mark.
And that's fine.
George ain't falling in, but Mark is.
That's okay for you to think that. We're cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Walter, I question that. George is not falling in. I was in there. It was sketchy.
give anything if it was across the street.
Well, I know, I understand.
Okay. Anybody else?
living there.
Any other questions, comments? This is your time. Brian?
Uh-oh.
Just want to touch on the pickleball court. As far as, we've got the tennis court there, and if it does need to be resurfaced, maybe look at doing one pickleball court, painting the lines on, so they could utilize the tennis court and the pickleball court, just to kind of get some feedback and input to see how many people actually use it. I'm not against it by no means, but I am against spending a bunch of money and then find out, that we could have probably got by with one pickleball court, just to see how many people would actually use it.
Again,
The city park at Greensburg, I believe, where the tennis courts are there, they've got the dual lines. I'm understanding that they've got the dual lines on there where they can play tennis or pickleball. Yeah.
And the Y does too.
So, maybe something to look at instead of spending a bunch of money, at once, and make 2 sets of people happy, pickleball people and tennis people, Like I say, I'm not against it either way. And I don't play either one of them, so, but just something that, to save some money.
I'm wondering if there's even a third alternative where the tennis net is not used as a pickleball net, but there are 2 courts on either side of the tennis net and people bring their own net and set it up. I think they use it that way today.
So there are portable nets, but they are expensive.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't think that,
If they're into it, they've got it.
How many people play it at a time?
It's up to 4.
It's a, yeah.
And what's generally the age group of people that would be playing?
From about 5 to 70.
5 to 70, Russell says.
Okay.
Because,
And do you have to have equipment? Do you have to like have?
So
tools?
you have to have
There's paddle ball.
2 paddles and then it's used by a wiffle ball. And somebody had mentioned something about expensive equipment for it. And so I looked up the paddles. You can get them on Amazon. You can get a whole set for less than $20. So it's not expensive equipment to play.
the thing about pickleboard, I was on the park board in the county, and there are tons of pickleball courts getting set up all over the country. It would be my guess that probably it's going to completely crowd out tennis unless it's just basically for the real young people, because anybody, even Glenn and I could be partners on that.
Amen.
But it's
You can stay up with me.
yeah, it's a very interesting game. I mean, there's a lot of interest in it.
Well, the research that I was doing, it said that it is the fastest growing sport
Right.
in the United States
That's
the
right.
past 3 years. So every year for the past 3 years, it's been the most popular, fastest growing, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a party pooper. So was tennis.
Mhm.
And it went,
Mhm.
was to keyword, so.
A lot of
Golf?
tennis players play pickleball now.
What, I guess my biggest question overall is what kind of people are we wanting to bring into the park? Are we wanting to provide services for a lot of our lower income children so that they have a safe place to play, like equipment and things that are already here? Or are we trying to bring in a new class of like teenagers and college kids that can afford to buy this stuff? Even if it's cheap, a lot of our parents in the area are not going to just go out and buy this equipment. They're busy working, and so they just send the kids down to the park. So I guess my question is, who exactly are we providing services for?
It can be
The
just about
families
anybody.
and families,
yeah.
families in Westport. Mhm.
It's about as inclusive as a sport can get.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Like, nursing homes play it in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
So it's a very versatile sport.
Uh, I don't know whether, we need to talk to Mike, see what he wants to do.
If the town is providing funds to something, it is our responsibility to obtain these quotes. So I would recommend that the town pursue those quotes versus relying on Kiwanis or
Right.
another group to do it, just so that you know what's going on.
Right now, I think the quote came in at 46, but we're close to the 50,000 trip point.
Just to be safe, I think we
Yeah.
should.
Where the 30 would be our part. But suffice it to say, there's more research that has to be done on this before it
Right,
gets,
before even
we
bids, I think.
appropriate
Yeah.
money. All right, anything else? Yeah, Sandy, come on up.
Hi. Just kind of wanted to check and see, I've come before the council a couple times, kind of asking for what I kind of think is a clerical cleanup of the personnel policy versus the vacation pay from last year to this year. Just kind of wanted to know if you guys had looked into that or kind of what the status is on that.
We've been a bit busy.
Mm-hmm.
It's my intent to get the vacation time and the personnel policy converted to hours. And it'd be, I think it's written in weeks right now, which would be 5-day weeks
It's
times 8
days.
hours.
It's days
Is it
now.
days?
Yeah.
But that would be times 8 hours and then converted. I think the newest people, if you convert it to 8-hour days, now that they use 10, I may, for a brand new employee, I may throw another 10 hours at them so they can have 5 full days. Anybody else, I think it's just going to be a straight 8 times however many days is there.
Okay.
I don't
I
wanna
just
short-
hadn't heard anything. Like I
don't
know
wanna
like
short-
21 days, if you multiply it times 8, you get 168. I mean, I personally don't have any issue if you say, well, let's round that 168 up to, for the people who do the 10-hour days, round it up to 170
70 to get it to an even
instead
number.
of, but I just hadn't heard anything, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure
That would make some sense.
where the town kind of
We're going to
stood
get
on
to
that.
it, whether or not, I mean, frankly, we've been playing whack-a-mole. There's so many complaints coming in and Facebook blowing up. It's difficult to keep up.
Okay.
But that's on the agenda. Maybe I should write a work ticket on it so it's got some traceability.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Use my own process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sandy come in and write the book.
Except I work, so if you do an evening,
I thought you were off on the beginning of the week, like Mondays.
no, I work 5 days a week.
Okay.
So, so I appreciate you,
Yes.
doing that. And if you do decide to do like an evening hours, would it be possible to have that posted on the town's Facebook page
Yeah.
or the town's website so we know the days we could come in? I would appreciate that.
Yeah, right now, it would probably be after golf season before we would start that.
Okay.
So I play golf Tuesday
First
evenings.
things first.
Okay, I
One
do
of the few
appreciate.
things I've been able to hang on to.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? We've made it in an hour. It's just past 7:30. Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make the motion.
Okay, Russell? Who wants to do the second?
I'll second that bad boy.
Okay. Well, Russell thinks he beat Jenny. He made the motion. Dolores has seconded. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye, please.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.
Jenny?